What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel, where today we have another 3-round mock draft. This time we're going to be doing the New York Jets, who have the 7th overall pick. But first, I wanted to talk about some key impending free agents that will be missed from this New York team. These are the people who had over 50% snap share, apart from Haason Reddick, who didn't, but will be impactful, that the Jets could possibly be losing. So you see here, obviously, Haason Reddick, DJ Reed, Javon Kinlaw, Morgan Moses, Tyron Smith, Chuck Clark, Tony Adams, and Aaron Rodgers, all expected to possibly be leaving. I would expect more of them to leave rather than stay. So that being said, this team obviously needs to focus primarily on their DBs and their DTs. I don't think that a quarterback is probably going to be worth it in this draft for them, unless, of course, there's one available in the second, third round. Maybe we'll have that discussion. But overall, I'm leaning more toward the defense. We'll see where the draft falls, and we'll get right into it. All right, guys, so we are back, and we are going to hop right into this draft. As you can see here, Jets, 3 rounds. We're going to go ahead and get started, see where everything falls. And perfectly, we see here Travis Hunter going to Tennessee, deciding not to choose a quarterback, but the Browns end up choosing a quarterback as well. McMillan gets chosen at wide receiver, Campbell at tackle. Malachi Starks goes pretty early, and Abdul Carter drops to 6. This leaves us in a very interesting position because we do have Mason Graham sitting right here, and you do know that they do need some DTs. However, Shedeur Sanders is also sitting here. And I think that the real question is, because of the situation with Aaron Rodgers, do the New York Jets at this position, if this were to fall this way, decide that Shedeur Sanders is their quarterback of the future? Or do they decide Mason Graham, who is the best defensive player in this draft, for a lot of people, do they feel like he will be more impactful and they can go ahead and grab a player that's going on to free agency, such as a Justin Fields, such as a Sam Darnold? I think in this case, when you look at Shedeur versus Mason Graham, I think it's hard to argue with the impact that Mason Graham has on the run game, and applying pressure to the quarterback. We can look back at his stats. He had 5 sacks, 20 hurries, 9 hits, and a batted ball. He is a very, very dominant player. I think it's hard to argue with choosing Mason Graham. I think he's pretty much the easiest option on the board. So now we don't have another pick until pick number 42. And I see here Jahad Campbell is still here, which is very, very interesting. I've seen Campbell in a couple of drafts go as high as like 20. And I've seen some experts with those. Now, that being said, I also see Jack Sawyer still sitting here. Tyleik Williams is still sitting here. You have a couple of guys. I wonder who went. Ashton Gianti. Wow. Shedeur Sanders falls to 21. That's insane. All right, so primarily, there are a couple different routes I can go here. I know a lot of people, a lot of the experts are talking, maybe the Jets should grab a wide receiver, put him opposite of Garrett Wilson, and that'll make him better. I don't see a lot here that I'm happy about if I'm the New York Jets. I do think that Jack Sawyer is the best choice in this, where we're at. I think based off of how everything has fallen, this is where you just take the best player possible, and I think that's easily Jack Sawyer. We saw what he was able to do at Ohio State. You know, he only got better throughout the entire season and throughout the entire year. Double-digit sacks for the first time, 16 hits, 38 hurries, which is insane. 6 batted balls. He's a good player. He's great at getting to the quarterback. He has some things that he could definitely work on. He's not the most, talented player, but, it's hard to argue with the stats. I think that in this case, Jack Sawyer is by far the best option. I don't see any other way about it. Tyleik Williams would have been another choice, but I don't see the sense of going double defensive interior. So now we get a really late pick in the 3rd round. And this is when you can start thinking about certain things. All right, is this the time where you go and you grab a Jalen Milroe? Or is this the time where you can go and grab, some linemen to protect your quarterback? I think realistically, when it comes to the situation that I think, the New York Jets find themselves in, I do think that the 3rd round is probably their time to go with quarterback. I think that even if they pick up Justin Fields or Sam Darnold, they probably grab one of the quarterbacks. Personally, I think that Jackson Dart is probably the best quarterback option. However, I think in this situation, it wouldn't surprise me at all if the New York Jets, based off of the reports that I've seen and what they've liked about Justin Fields, I think it's hard to argue that you can't see, similar game styles for Jalen Milroe. He's a physical runner. He's not afraid to, just run it down your throat. He lacks a little bit of the quarterback style skill that I think Justin Fields frankly lacks. So I think that they're similar enough players. Even if they were to pick up Justin Fields, I think that this is probably somebody that they might be willing to invest in and have learn under Justin Fields, as a more veteran player. Or possibly the Jets go and get Russell Wilson, who kind of runs in the same style, is definitely a better quarterback, but maybe Jalen Milroe can learn a thing or two. I think this is a good spot for them. Jalen Milroe going to the Jets. And that's the way that I see it kind of breaking down. You see here, obviously, Mason Graham an A+. Overall, we get a draft grade of an A-. I don't think any of these were necessarily too big of reaches. I think Mason Graham obviously falling to the Jets would be absolutely incredible. Grabbing another lineman to take over that edge spot in Jack Sawyer, help get to the quarterback more consistently. We just saw, defense wins championships and pressuring the quarterback does that. I think Jack Sawyer fits in very well there. And Jalen Milroe, a quarterback to invest in. Personally, I think that Jackson Dart is the better quarterback, but I honestly don't think he'll be available by round 3, 92nd pick. I think Jalen Milroe will be there, and I think that it's more realistic that they would grab him. That being said, that's it for me, guys. If you guys like this and you guys want to see more, all 32 teams, make sure you like, subscribe, comment what you guys think, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.